Welcome to AIM Hour. My name is Anchilee Scott-Kemmis, Miss Universe Thailand 2021.
ก่อนจะไปฟังบทสัมภาษณ์จากน้องแอนแอนชิลีสกอตเคมมิสเอ็มขอเวลาแค่นาทีเดียวครับจะมาอธิบายนะครับว่ารายการ AIM Hour เป็นรายการสัมภาษณ์เป็นภาษาอังกฤษนะครับแต่ว่าทุกคนสามารถเปิดซับไตเติลเป็นภาษาไทยได้นะครับแค่เลื่อนเมาส์ไปกดปุ่มตรง close caption ตรงนี้นะครับแล้วก็คลิกภาษาไทยก็จะสามารถติดตามบทสัมภาษณ์เต็มๆนี้เป็นภาษาไทยได้ตลอดทั้งชั่วโมงเต็มๆนะครับแล้วก็สามารถติดตามเวอร์ชันไฮไลท์ที่เราทำซับไตเติลเอาไว้ด้วยหมด1 นาทีแล้วไปฟังน้องแอนต่อครับ Good afternoon คุณแอนชิลี
สวัสดีค่ะ Good afternoon.
สวัสดีครับHow does your friend call you? Is it Anchilee or just Ann?
Just Ann. Plain and simple.
And what would make you feel more comfortable calling you Ann or Anchilee or how should I call you?
น้องแอน
น้องแอน
Yeah. I feel like I'm still very young and like when someone calls me Nong, it just like, it's part of like the Thai culture, right? Like you feel closer and then you feel like there's a boundary on what is right in the Thai culture.
Yeah, I think like just to share on my part is it's so diverse now, like the world nowadays, and like we want to feel like I'm welcoming you, but at the same time I don't want to intrude your personal space.
Yeah,
that's why I asked first, like what should I call you?
Yeah, I think when you say like Nong in Thai, it breaks that awkwardness naturally. Sometimes like. For example, like if I'm flying and the air hostess is like, what do I call you? Like Kun, and I'm like, you're older than me. I think you just call me Nong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Nong Ann. Welcoming to AIM Hour is an English interview program with me. My name is Aim, and we're gonna talk about things. Like I don't know where it will take us, but we will. I hope we're gonna have a good time here.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. So, how are you doing overall?
I'm good. I'm happy. I'm starting to get the swing of everything again and kind of like taking it day by day. So I'm very happy right now.
How long has it been since you took off your throne, your
crown,
your crown? Yeah, Miss Universe Thailand. How long has it been?
July 30th, so not even a month yet. And yeah, it's been different because I kind of came into the entertainment industry through Miss Universe Thailand. So now that I'm no longer the current one, I'm working on finding what's me, what's my path, rather than being a beauty queen.
And how is it now? Did you find the perfect spot yet, or are you navigating yourself yet?
Navigating at the moment. I think right now because I'm so young, I need to try everything. I need to know what's right for me and what's not. But the thing that I'm doing more and more of right now is more towards like the fashion side, which is something I personally enjoy already. And also a lot of like talk shows, game shows. I think those are always really fun because you get to show you, like who you are really. So that's a part of me I want people to see.
Well, speaking of being yourself, now it comes to the topic about being Miss Universe Thailand. This is quite, personally, I don't know about, how you feel. But if I hold this title, anything that have the word Thailand in it, it's quite heavy.
Yeah, it was a heavy year because I didn't have any experience, not only in pageantry actually, but also in entertainment as a whole. So when you come into it so new, and mind you, like I just moved back from Australia, where the culture is so different, I had to adapt really quickly, learn really different things about the Thai culture. And then on top of that, I carried this title that had Thailand at the end. And I grew up knowing people wanted like the third crown so much. And the moment you become a country representative, you feel the whole country on your shoulder. So I remember waking up in the middle of the night being like really freaking out that I was Miss Universe Thailand and had to carry so much responsibility. And I had just turned 22. So I was quite young with so much responsibility. But as I kept doing it, as I kept going on, you learn to live with it, you learn to cope with it. And it's an experience that's led me to, I think, grow beyond my years now.
But did it came with a price and a cost though? Of course, before I talked to you, I did some research and there are a part when you discuss about your mental health, a part when you discuss about online abuse. How was it, and is it better now?
Yeah, it was hard. I will admit it, it was hard. And I think sometimes in the Thai culture specifically, when things are hard, you don't want to admit it. You don't want to come off weak. You know, it's a culture that's very like hoop. But I think it's important now that we talk about it because the world is changing, and especially my generation, it's something that we're very prone to. It was really hard, genuinely really hard, because here you are trying to represent something that's so new and, in my opinion, so important, not only towards women but also men. And you think about, you know, wanting to make Thailand a more international place, a more open place, an accepting place. So you come in with this campaign that's about embracing you and not measuring your worth on beauty, you know, because at the end of the day, you're someone's son, you're someone's daughter, you're someone's friend, and your worth also comes from that. So when you come in with like a really hopeful heart and you're also new to the industry, it hits you like a truck when you don't know why everyone's hating on you so much. I understand that, you know, it is my fault as well for not bringing the crown home to Thailand, and that comes with the title. But beyond that, I was more shocked that, wow, like, was that all you care about, rather than a bigger message that can genuinely help people? How I am now, I'm happy now. Like, I feel like it's made me grow. You know, I'm 23, but I can handle so much now, and it's because I went through that. It's because I got all this hate and online abuse. And I don't want to say that I'm glad it happened, but in hindsight, in like the silver lining, I am.
I can share it from my perspective as well, that I've talked to so many people who are dealing with this issue, and these are the people who like big politicians, you know, like big business person, and I'm dealing with one too. You know, like I have depression, and I feel like sometimes you have to wake up. When people ask me how does it feel, it's like sometimes you have a diarrhea, you have a flu, and you have to go run for a marathon. You know, like that sort of illness is like physical illness. So when I have to tell them how does it feel to have something like mental health issue, is quite heavy for me. So I just want to share that if you want to talk about it, feel free. If you don't, it's okay as well.
Yeah, well, I think you've given me a safe space to do it, and I think we agree on the importance of it. So it's something that people who haven't gone through it don't really understand, and I think that's also part of the problem. But it's true, like mental health actually becomes a physical health problem. Whether, you know, you can't process like foods, your hormones are all imbalanced. Like, I completely understand that. And it's not an excuse, it's just facts. Yeah, so I think it's important.
Well, I want to ask you a simple question though, like if you rate your mental, physical health from like 0 to 10, 10 being like overly utopian, everything is perfect, and 0 is like a living hell right now, where would you put it?
I'm a 7.
You are 7.
7.7.
You like number 7? Yeah?
I like 7. 7. I think I'm still new to the industry, you know. I actually haven't been in it for a full year yet because I won last year October, at the end of the month too. So you're just kind of going with it as like the days come. And then when you're alone and you have more time to reflect, I have this habit of overthinking, which I'm so good at pulling myself down. I think there's this thing, like sometimes you get addicted to sadness. It's quite common too. You know, like when you're sad, you just want to listen to sad songs all the time, and it just makes you sadder and sadder and sadder. But you need to have that awareness to know when you're actually feeling that way. So when I feel that way, I bring myself up, and that brings me to like a 7.7. But naturally, like I'll have days where I'm a 10. I have days where I feel like I'm a 0. It's human, I think, depending on what you go through.
We are all humans.
Yeah, we are. Like sometimes you just have a bad day. That's all it is. You go to sleep and it's better the next.
And just to admit you one thing, I didn't watch the beauty pageant at all?
That's fine. A lot of people don't too.
I'm saying this just to let you know that I'm talking to you as a human, like one human to another, and that's all. So you can feel comfortable,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
definitely
being
do.
yourself.
I'm more like laid back from
Yeah,
since the
you can
beginning.
do it. As long as the producer doesn't say anything, I think it's all fine. Yeah, she's like controlling everything in my life right now. Like PM come up, don't be late for the guests and everything. So
I get that too.
about the rating, you know, like 7.7 now. What was the number during the year that you were Miss Universe Thailand?
I've had 10s, definitely. I've had like real zeros. And there was a time where I probably had more zeros than I had like 7, 8, 9, 10. When I came back to Thailand after the Miss Universe stage and I didn't make it into top 16 and I had the whole like country, like felt like the whole country hate me. Felt. You were embarrassed. You didn't want to be seen anywhere. I lost so much confidence. But here I was like preaching about confidence, you know, and talking about being confident no matter what. But I also want people to know that sometimes you're not. And that's okay. Like it's just normal, you know, and I think if you see someone in the public eye do that and admit to that, it brings a lot more realness to it as well, which is why I'm not ashamed to admit that I had days where I was a zero. You know, I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to be in the industry anymore. I just didn't have that fight in me left. But that's a battle, right? That's a battle that I didn't have a choice to pick. I had to just do it. I had to just wake up and do what I do and go see a counselor, talk to someone. It was terrible, but like, look at me now, you know, I'm happy. I know how to cope with these things. And it's an experience that I don't think a lot of 23-year-olds get. So it's a silver lining.
Yeah. I like that you said like you felt that the whole country hates you, that you stressed the word felt because that wasn't the fact that the whole country hates you. Yeah, we love you.
Thank you. But like, you know, when you go through something bad, like you pull negatives out. It's like a black cloud, a gray cloud all over your head all day. Someone can say something amazing, but you hear one bad thing and it's like the cloud just gets darker and darker and you feel like the rain's on you, just you. So back then it felt that way. But I look back now and I was just in my own head for like, I was just existing. That's what I felt like, doing what I was doing, like going with the motion, but didn't really process anything, didn't really think much of anything, you know, it was just work, come home, cry, sleep, wake up, like have my coffee to like, I could do this and then do it all over again until one day I just got better.
I think this dark cloud atmosphere, it happens to a lot of us. And I want you to share because I think it will be beneficial to a lot of us, including myself too. Sometimes I got stuck in that period.
Right. It's normal, and I think it's stuff like this that really shows people different perspectives of one another's life. You know, things are so curated, especially on social media, which is something that everyone's on these days. So you see all these curated images, these like perfected images, perfected videos, like a whole like utopian society on a phone, and you come out and the reality is not like that. You're gonna have that cloud over your head.
And lately, with in the last few years, beauty pageants become more than beauty. I mean, just judging from the like question panel, I think like for me, like in Thailand, the day that they have like big beauty pageant is the day that people discuss about politics, even more than, you know, like parliament meetings, you know, because like everyone watch it and the question that being asked on the stage, people will discuss about it. The question is that What, in your opinion, though, like what is beauty pageant nowadays? Is it more than about beauty?
I hope so. I thought it was. Initially after I won, I felt very hopeful. But when I'm just being honest, when you win and you're representing something that's bigger than beauty, and people start giving you a lot of hate for it, you question if that's really what it's about. I know that all the girls who I've competed with or know through pageantry know that it's more than just beauty. It's about, dedication, hard work, discipline, and just toughening up as a woman as well. But people on the outside don't see that. So I can't answer for them. But to me, it's more than about beauty now. You just have to make sure the rest of society goes on with it too. Because the platforms we get, though, it is a beauty pageant, you want to look good, you want to do, all that stuff. You're the one with the platform. You're the one where people are listening. So when people already think that pageantry is about your mindset and your thinking, once you get that platform, force them to listen. And that way you can shift it into being more than just about beauty. So I think it's a gray area at the moment, depending on perspective.
But as world goes on, I think it's become more diverse. Like people, they don't have a fixed set of opinion anymore. People will just look at this as a a beauty stage or something more than just beauty.
Yeah, I think it's changing, but not fast enough. Because you look at fashion, for example, right? That's gone a lot further. We've got people with, skin discoloration representing all sorts of different things, different shapes, different sizes, different things on their faces that make them them. You don't necessarily get that yet in pageantry. It's starting, but it hasn't caught up to the rest yet, in my opinion.
Speaking of pageantry and political message and something more than beauty, what's your opinion on it though? Is it important that this stage is more than beauty?
It's so important because you have people listening. People will listen more when they're intrigued. They're intrigued by the whole, walking in a swimsuit, evening gown, all that stuff. They're intrigued by it. So when you slide in messages that can be political and you deliver them gracefully and nicely and you have a reason for everything you're saying, it forces them to listen. So I really want it to go beyond beauty. Everyone who goes there wants a platform to advocate for what they want to advocate for. So once you get that platform, it becomes more than about beauty. The winner of Miss Universe, the global stage, it becomes more about beauty now. They're spokespersons, they're speaking on behalf of everyone, they're sharing their opinions, their minds and all that stuff. So it's more than about beauty.
I agree with you. There are so many things in the world that need to be tackled. And any chance we should give it a chance to do it. I have hope for pageantry because of what we see the Miss Universe platform doing after they crowned the winner. Did you say you had hope or you have hope?
I have hope.
Okay,
I have hope.
You still have it.
I still have it.
That's good.
It's changing. Things are changing. We value brains a lot more now too. So I'm very hopeful.
I can still see it in your eyes. Well, the next question, like I said, I want this to be casual and comfortable for you. If you feel like you don't want to answer it, feel free. I think the question is that when it comes to politics and beauty stage, and you are like Miss Universe Thailand, and when it comes to political and society, people might expect that there are other aspects of the society that need to tackle before real size beauty. It can be like direct democracy. It can be something like pure politics. It should be something like economics. Given what 80% of Thai people living in poverty. What do you think of this statement?
I think it's true. I really do. If you have, again, reasoning, evidence is really important, you can say it. But say it in a way where, I don't want to say not take sides because you're entitled to your opinion and your side, but where it doesn't damage the other person or the other side. I think that's really important. But then this question just shows that pageantry needs to be more than about beauty. Because if there's the expectation for you to be able to speak up about these things, speaking up about it has nothing to do with beauty. It has nothing to do with your body, your looks, your face, none of that. Walking on stage in a swimsuit or an evening gown. So, yeah, you're a representative of a country. You should be able to speak about it and you should want to. But if you don't, I also think that's okay. Because there's so many reasons to why someone doesn't want to talk about something. They don't have enough information about it. They don't fully understand it. Or they just simply do not have an opinion on it. Like they're not in a space to be able to be like, I agree with this, I don't agree with that, or you agree with both to an extent. I think it's a matter of personal choice and measuring what you think is best, because you're better off conveying a message that is impactful and has reasoning and logic rather than just saying something because you're expected to say something and does damage in the end.
I'll go on for a few more questions. Yeah, people might expect you even like you should talk about freedom of expression, you should talk about, and especially in 2021 there was a huge movement in Thailand, political movement, and even with the best that you were doing, you were pushing for something larger than normal standard. People are still disappointed in terms of political movement, in terms of social aspect as well. What would you respond to that? The request for okay, you should go for something big like politics, freedom of expression, something like that.
I'm a new generation, right? I'm only 23. So there are a lot of things that I agree with that my generation do. But I have this principle in myself where the moment anything gets violent, there's violence used, I don't speak up. Like I don't get involved. Not necessarily speak up, I don't get involved, because the moment you fight fire with fire, the message gets lost. What you're actually fighting for no longer becomes what you're actually fighting for. It's becoming them versus them. For me personally, I picked my battles and I picked them based on my values, which I am 100% against violence.
I think, that should be it from me on this topic. But is there anything you want to share, like all these thing about, beauty pageant and politics?
I really do believe they go hand in hand. I really do, because you're, again, a representative of a country, particularly from my stage, like the Miss Universe Thailand stage. But if whoever is in pageantry decides that they don't want to do it, I think you should listen to why they don't want to do it. And if they decide that they do want to do it, then listen to why they want to do it. I think sometimes people forget that when you're a beauty queen or you're Miss Universe Thailand or whatever title you carry, you're still human with your own opinion at the end of the day. And if you're also a role model, which a lot of us are when we become pageant girls, beauty queens, you also have that responsibility to the younger generation, the kids that are watching you who can't form their own opinions yet, who don't have enough knowledge on things yet, to be able to think for themselves to the extent that you can, just simply because you're older and you've got, you've had more education, you've had more experiences through life. I think that's right as well. I think that's a personal choice as well. It's complicated. You have to pick your battles. In every single thing you do, you're going to have people who agree with you and people who don't. And that's something my dad taught me way before I did Miss Universe Thailand, way before I was in the public eye. And you just learn to respect each other's opinion. Like, some of them might not make sense to you, might not be fair. But again, two sides to every story. What makes sense to you might not make sense to them. What makes sense to them might not make sense to you. And it's part of what makes the world actually quite unique, you know, all these opinions being shared, all these debates. But you learn to cope with it as well. And you learn to pick out which one's constructive and which one's not. Comments that can make me improve myself, I'll take it in. Sometimes it sucks to hear it, but it's just a matter of truth. People need to be able to warn you when you're going out of line. But then if they just do not agree on your opinion, just for the sake of not agreeing, that's their problem, you know, that's up to them. And if I don't agree with them, just because I don't want to agree with them, that's my problem. So it goes both ways, that you just cope with it. It's just life, right?
Okay ใช่ป่ะครับ
Okay,
Everything has been good.
Yeah. You ask really good questions. Like questions that a lot of people haven't asked me before.
I'm a journalist before
Makes
anything
me
else.
think, you know? Like I love that it's like you get to know me.
Yeah, and it's a privilege for me because this is the first time I get to talk to นางงาม the winner. So and a very smart one as well. So this is my privilege. This is my I'll try my best to learn as much from you. A lot of question isn't something for the show. Most of it are just for myself.
Yeah, that's fine. I think, but that's the thing, like, you know, the tough questions is literally what makes it worthwhile, you know, worth watching, worth understanding from both sides. I feel like, you know, you're asking the tough questions and my job's to answer based on me, like not as a nang ngam, as like a 23-year-old.
Beauty standard, I am very like totally, I don't have much clue about it. But you have, I think in your mind, you have been dealing with this word for the last couple of years, I guess. Yeah. Can you just educate me?
Well, first of all, beauty standards are different globally, right? But, you know, do you see in like everyday life or like when you're at the shopping mall, seeing all these like posters and you see these beautiful women or women that are considered beautiful. Do you know the golden ratio? Like the symmetry of the face and like that kind of stuff? People who fit into that golden ratio have that tiny waist, hourglass figure. That's what we consider can be beauty standard. Palm lo soy, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to come and change all that stuff because there's no way I can have that 22, 23-inch waist. That's the size of my thigh, you know? That's just, I want to change it. I just don't, I think we give too much value to beauty standards. You become automatically more desirable if you're in that beauty standard, which again is all constructed. And you know it's constructed because if you think about history, women who were curvier were considered more beautiful 100 years ago, or Marilyn Monroe, who was considered one of the most beautiful women to ever exist, right? Her body is not a beauty standard today. So it's constantly changing, constantly evolving, and it's a trend. So I want to come and change that because we give too much value to it. And also, I go to Australia, right? And I'm 183 centimeters. I go there and I am an everyday Joe, like normal size. I can go into a shop and I can find my size. If not, it's sold out because so many people are my size. I come to Thailand and I go into a shop. I can't find a thing. I just can't find my shirt size. Like, for example, I'm a small to a medium in Australia. I come here, I'm a large to an extra large. So I really just wanted to come and change that. And I think that's what beauty standards are.
Thank you. Like I said, I mean, like I think you can see from my standpoint. I mean, like from where I am, I'm just gonna invest much on this beauty standard thing. But you are the part that you know you've been dealing with this in your head for a long time. So it's good that I get to hear from you.
Yeah, but also you know, men and women like different things, and that's also why I think people don't, like men specifically, don't really know it because it's not something men think about, in my opinion. Like My brother does not care if he's come back from uni on holiday and he's like, I just gained 5 kilos. Don't care, I had the best time. Me, coming back, I'm like, I used to be like, oh my God, I'm massive here. Go back to Australia, I'm normal here. So they're very different mindsets that men and women have in terms of these things. And I think it has to do with social media and the construction of beauty standards that women are very prone to.
What were the critics though? I would imagine it would be something like, you know, like there are the people who want to promote like healthy physics, you know, like exercise, etc. And when you put this like real size beauty agenda, it's kind of against those promotion. Was it a case or was it the critics?
I think people who are really educated on what's healthy didn't see it as a contradiction. But we associate healthy with skinny. And that's where I think people disagree with me and it becomes a clash. I work out 5 times a week. My heart rate, everything, like I'm healthy, I'm strong. But I'm not model skinny, I'm not beauty pageant skinny. You know, what's considered to be that standard. And human bodies are so different. We don't necessarily know what works for us will work for them. It's just biology. It's just how it is. It's genes, it's DNA, it's all that stuff. So you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say this one last time that you are very beautiful.
Thank
and
you.
the fact that I wanna say it one last time that is might be a bit, you know, I don't wanna get inappropriate, you know, like the space between
of course,
the
of course.
interview.
I understand.
But I want to make sure that, you know, like, I was hearing you, like you were in the Australia, and then you were like average Joe.
Yeah.
You came here, people perceive you like, okay, you are a bit, you know, like big compared to people's standard or something.
Yeah. It's just my biology, you know. My dad's Australian.
Yeah.
My mum's tall for a Thai woman. She's 170. My dad's like almost 2 meters. He's big boned. He played so many sports growing up, but there's no way I could be skinny in that standard way. I'm at a healthy weight. I watch what I eat in the sense of I make sure I get all the nutrients. So if I'm promoting health, I am promoting health because I take care of myself both mentally and physically now. But not in the way that some things are marketed towards.
I will say that I really admire you because you set yourself to do things that not standard. It's not conventional, you know, like you, like when I imagine what you were, the process that you went through, you were entering this beauty pageant with a purpose. So you knew that there will be some obstacles, there will be some adversity, but yet you still did it.
I didn't have a choice to, you know, like I knew it would be hard. I didn't think it'd be this hard. But when you have a whole team behind you and people who support you and believe in your message as well, you don't have a choice but to do it for them too. And in order to get through something, you have to go through it. That's just a matter of fact. It's just how it is, you know, no matter how hard it is. So I got through it. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it because my message is worth people hearing.
So if you can decide it again, will you do it?
Yeah. I mean, hearing people say that they're more confident, you know, they stopped measuring their worth based on how they look like that. I would do that 1,000,000 times over for that again. Like I'm so lucky that my team supports me in everything, you know, they listen to me as well as my family and all my friends. So when you've got that outlet, you know they have your back, you can have someone else's back.
When you mentioned about your team that support you, I mean, some cynic might say that okay, you have a choice to enter the stage, but the one who picked you to be the winner, I mean, like with all the things that you went through, people might have like empathy with you that you shouldn't go through that, and they say that okay, the culprit isn't you, but it's the one that chose you to be the winner.
I think it's a learning curve. You know, I don't want to see it that way. They believed in me. They believed in the message. Whether or not I got the crown for Thailand or made it into, you know, the top 16 thing, that's not on them, that's on me. That's my responsibility. And I don't think it's their fault at all. I get that we're a team, but each player has their own role. And with the hate and the abuse I got, that was my role to receive.
Yeah, you were mentioning about something that you have faced during the year. I mean, like there were difficult times, right? But I assume you get some positive stuff too. Can you share me about some of it? What did you see? Who did you meet? What did you hear that, you know, like being a positive factors?
I remember I was shooting a TV show, like a TV program, and one of the guest stars told me that she's comfortable wearing a swimsuit now because of me. And that makes my heart like really full because, you know, it's just, you don't think at 22, 23, you can make that much of an impact. And when it comes from a woman as well, you also really feel like it's women supporting each other, which makes it special. And then on my like Instagram a couple days ago, I saw someone say, every day I feel more confident because of you don't care what you wear as long as you feel confident in it. So it gives you that push to keep doing what you're doing. But I have to admit, sometimes when the hate is so loud, you don't hear the positive. Like you can receive all these positive things, but you're gonna naturally take focus on the hate, especially when you don't have any experience towards how to deal with it.
So it took a while for those positive comments to surface?
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you can hear them, right? They can tell you how much they love you or appreciate you. But if you're currently not appreciating yourself because of the loudness of the hate. So it's like a battle with yourself, a battle with the hate, but you're trying to accept the positive. So it's just a whirlwind of emotions that you didn't know how to process.
And I just want to tell you that as we are speaking right now, you are feeling my heart too. I mean, like, of course, I'm not gonna be applicable for like real size beauty because like it's far from my thing. But I'm a journalist and I deal with a lot of people who want change, who have the courage to enter the stage, who speak out about things that they believe in, and those are very admirable.
Thank you.
So I just want you to hear this.
Thank you. I have one more. Yeah, it's really nice to hear it from someone who's not part of your like group. Do you know what I mean? Like when you hear it from people outside of pageantry or fashion, it makes you feel like, and the more it's talked about, the more it's discussed, I think the more it proves that it needs to be discussed.
Yeah, I deal with a lot of people who, you know, like dealing with online atmosphere, and I know how difficult it is. And sometimes your mind tricks you. There are plenty of, you know, thousands of positive comments, yet you stuck with a few negative ones. Yeah. And there are people who never get a chance to meet you and tell you this, like face to face. You know, like you are doing a very good things. You are very courageous. So just want to make sure that you get to hear it. I think I'm speaking for a lot of people around me.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. You know, it's these small moments that you always think back to when you're struggling.
But as you get to witness and as you get to enter the global stage, can you share about what they think though? Like the fact that you enter the stage with this like real size beauty campaign, how did they receive it and how was it?
Some loved it, some didn't. You know, we go back to the whole thing about like, is beauty pageant more than just about beauty now? The ones that didn't like it saw it as, she doesn't have that standard body. That's not beautiful. That's not beauty pageant. But on the other side, it's new. It's progressive. It's modern. It's going with the global trend, the changes of the world. So you had two sides of everything, and it came from all over the world. You know, like when someone said that I didn't deserve to be in it because it degrades those girls that worked so hard in the gym to get that perfect body. But my message was so different. My message was about embracing yourself no matter what. You know, it's normal for people to have weight gain, you know. When you're during the winter, you know, you naturally, overseas I guess, where we have seasons, you naturally hold on to more fat because it's the cold. During the summer, you shred more. Like these things are just natural processes of being human. And did I think I was degrading those girls that were working so hard to get that ideal body? No, because if that's what they want, that's what they want. I'm sure they're looking after their health, they're looking after their diet, you know, all that stuff I think goes hand in hand. My body structure will never allow me to be that size without sacrificing my health. I'm just not built that way. But that doesn't make me less capable. That doesn't make me less smart. That doesn't make me less beautiful. So there's two sides to every story. And that's just what pageantry was for me when I went onto the world stage.
And I think your message is very important, especially, you know, like with what is happening in the world right now. The COVID crisis, economy crisis, the mental health that we are dealing with. I think like if we are not happy with ourselves, it's just so difficult to go out there and face the world.
Yeah, and like you can think back to like something as simple as like a human relationship with one another, right? For example, if you get into a romantic relationship, you hear people all the time saying you have to love yourself first in order for that relationship to be healthy. It's the same thing with any other relationship you have, whether it's with humans or with, you know, food and all that kind of stuff. I think they all go hand in hand. It really just comes back to you and the worth you give yourself.
I want to talk more about your life before you become Miss Universe Thailand.
Okay.
How did you became you? When I said you became you, was that you at, you know, like 21 and 22, and you decided to enter the stage, and you want to advocate on real size beauty, on the real beauty. That was impressive.
Thank you.
You know, it's like when I was 22, I was just like, okay, trying to get to college and play football. That was me. Yeah. And you were like, okay, I should try to enter a stage and conquer the world with my agenda.
Yeah, I don't really know what I was thinking back then. I had just finished uni as well too. I was in that stage of like, what should I do? You know, I was applying for like office jobs in Australia back then because I came back because of COVID to be with my parents, and I was living in Sydney alone before I flew back, so I was really lonely and getting really anxious and depressed. Yeah, so I finished uni and I was like, I don't have anything to do, you know, I'm not hearing back from jobs, and obviously like during COVID no one's really getting hired as well. So I was talking to my parents and I was like, it's an experience, you know, like why not? Then I met my team who was like, no, it's not an experience, you're gonna win, you have to win. Like the expectation was high, and I just, okay. I wanted to try it. I don't know why.
I mean, it's not gonna. I'm not gonna be surprised if it's sort of like, you know, one thing lead to another, and suddenly you were like there.
It was like that, really. It kind of was. I mean, I got into this routine of preparing for it as well when it was happening. Because I came from Australia and I grew up in a very foreign society, you know, like even though I grew up in Thailand, I went to an international school. My friends were all foreigners. I did not speak Thai. Like, I understood it, I could use it, I could speak it, but I didn't speak it. My mum would speak to me in Thai, I'd respond in English. It was kind of like that. So my whole perspective and view on all these things were very different to what, someone who was born and raised in a Thai society would think. So I just went with the motions, like falang, you just go with it. That's all you do, you just go with it.
Yeah.
And it was a routine of just like, I didn't really know what's going on, I'm having fun, I'm just going to do it, didn't think much, I never questioned my intelligence because I knew that I loved learning. I'm a curious person. I ask a lot of questions if I want the answer to them. Until one day I won, so it was like, oh, okay, this is a dream come true, this is new, this is exciting, and then I had to really process what was going on and what was actually going to happen with my life.
What I was thinking was that back to Anchilee before the contest, suddenly you enter the contest and you won and you become Miss Universe Thailand, and all these questions is pointing at you. These are the things that you like, even the questions that we have been discussed for the last hour, probably the thing that you never thought about it, or like typical 21 years old wouldn't think about the answer to these questions. How did you process? How did you learn? How did you cope with it? Did you have to read a lot along the way?
No. I just spoke my mind. I think I've always had a genuine knowledge of what's going on in the world because, again, of my dad. We talk about politics all the time. We talk about, global trends, environment, all these things we've just always talked about. So I just said what I think, what I thought, and I was never afraid to say what I wanted to say. That was also the thing. So yeah, though I got asked a lot of tough questions, it forced me to think. It forced me to form a perspective, and that's always a good thing. It made me grow up. It just really did. And sometimes I'm like, oh, do you really have to ask me that? I don't have an opinion on it yet. But then you have to think back, like, do I not have an opinion on it, or do I not want to share it? Because that's two different things. And a lot of times I just didn't want to share it yet. For the reason I said earlier about having that responsibility with my platform, with the kids, and yeah, so I was very selective about those things. But I'm not afraid to speak, so it never really affected me too much.
But the fact that you enter the contest and you went through it and you are alive and very healthy now.
Thank you.
I think the input that you have from your parents must be very good. Can you tell me more about what kind of things that they taught you?
My dad specifically always taught me to stay curious. He always taught me to ask questions. And I grew up in an environment where, even similar to this environment right now, where there was a safe space. You can discuss anything. Whether you agree with it or you agree with one another, it doesn't matter. You can discuss it, and in a respectful manner. That was something my dad just always did with me and my little brother, who's only a year and a half younger, so we're actually we're the same age, really. So when you grow up in that environment, it becomes normal for you, and it just becomes part of who you are. My mum always taught me to be mindful. Sati. That was something she always taught me. And things about the Thai culture, the respect in the Thai culture. So when you grow up with that and that's all you know, that's what you become, I think. So who I am today, what I believe, my values, my principles, how I treat people, I owe to my parents. And as well as my teachers at school, I remember my dad telling me this thing about Barack Obama, who gave a speech saying, the person you are today is an influence of everyone you've met along the way. And whether that be my teachers, my coaches, my friends, people I had random discussions with, that's all influenced me to who I am today. But the biggest two would obviously be my mum and dad, and of course my teachers.
It takes a village to
It
raise a
takes a
child.
village, yeah. And I turned out okay, I think.
You turned out great. The climate of your family of four, right? It's you and your brother, right?
Well, I've actually got 3 older siblings with like different mums.
I see.
So we have the same dad, but they're in like their 40s now.
I see.
But also having older siblings and having them go through everything, and your dad's like our dads had experience with dealing with them. When you're dealing with like a whole new set of kids that are literally a generation apart. I think dad just knew how to like handle us, you know. And I think he also let me be free. I was very independent. I was walking to school by myself at like 11, 12, which I believe in the Thai culture is like too dangerous, especially if you're in Bangkok. That independence forced me to grow up. Whatever I wanted to do it. If it was a mistake, well, that's your lesson. No one was there to like pick me up, like to baby me, to coddle me.
But I can see the atmosphere between your family, you know, like your mother and your father, full of like discussion, full of like healthy arguments.
Yep.
And I think that play a big part of being you.
Yeah. Discussion was important. But the biggest one was respect. Respect, I think it goes with everything. It doesn't even have to be about my family in terms of like how a person turns out or the relationship you have with a person. If you respect one another, that goes so much, like that goes a long way without you even realizing. And that's what I saw in my parents. They respected one another. They respected my brother and I, my older siblings and I. There was just that mutual respect, and that went a long way. Yeah.
I want to know more about the education background as well. Like what kind of school did you go, or the teacher? Because like we said, it took a village to raise a wonderful person like you. And aside from your parents, how did good education help you?
So I went to NIST International School, and it's a very diverse school, as international schools are. But I think the difference that my school did, or that I felt my school did, was you were allowed to have your own opinion on anything if you had evidence to back it up, if you had reasoning. And it was that freedom of allowing you to think for yourself, that freedom of critical thinking especially, that has given me the perspectives I have on everything today. And I went through the IB program, and those who have gone through it or know of it know it's actually quite rigorous. But it's not rigorous in terms of you have to remember all these things. Like it's not a memory kind of program. It's a critical thinking program. It's a program that forces you to think in so many different perspectives, and then you can form your own perspective. So having a program like that, going through that and having that be all you know, that's just what you become. And then going to uni in Australia, going alone as well. So living there by myself, having to start from scratch when I grew up in the same school. So I was at NIST from year 1 to 13. That was all I knew. And then you go to a culture that, you know, foreigners are, like Westerners are, like you think something, you say it. There's no filter. When you have that, you're like, then I'll say it too. You want to say it, I'll say it too. I have my reasoning, you have your reasoning, go for it. And I think that's what shaped me to me today.
Wow, and then you came back and being the Miss Universe Thailand. I mean, like from the place where there's no filter. It's like 90% filter, I guess, like being the title that you had.
You know, what I say isn't actually necessarily filtered. I really say what I think. But I've gotten in a lot of trouble for that too. Sometimes I joke around too much, but like there's truth in what I joke about. But when it comes off as though you're attacking someone else, you cop a lot of like negative feedback from that. But I don't see it as a bad thing at all. I think not being afraid to speak speak your opinion, speak your mind is really important, especially for women. You know, we get you get taught to just sit there, look pretty, and generations are changing. We're changing. So, if I'm representing a younger generation, my generation and generations to come, I'm gonna speak.
You mentioned that you joke a lot, right?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a jokester. I really am. I play around a lot. I think I have like different modes, you know. Sometimes I'm like, I can get into a discussion, I just talk. And then sometimes I get into like a kid version and I just play around and joke around. There's, you know, you get to be whoever you want to be, you have control over that.
I was just gonna say like, since you were a bit of a jokester, is there anything that I just like people, you know, having a good laugh, and I just like people, you know, like, is there any joke that you can recall telling to your friends? It could be something that not controversy, or any experience from it. A bad one that your parents kind of disapprove, or your friends kind of shake your heads?
No.
It's all good?
Whether I'm funny or not is different. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can say a joke. I think it's funny, but they might not laugh. So you never know, like, how it turns out. But I think what my friends and I do is we roast each other. Like, we just laugh at each other. You know the saying, like, instead of laughing at them or with them, you're laughing at or with them. Yeah. We're laughing at each other because we're laughing at silly things they do that are true, that are real. And I think that's the part that might not be politically correct. So I can't really say it, you see. My jokes are very all over the place. Yes. But I think people are laughing at me because sometimes I can be clumsy as well.
What I do nowadays that, you know, like my daytime job is a boss, you know, like I have like 50 people with me. Yeah, it's quite
People
surprising.
management. When you become a boss, it's not about what you do anymore, it's about people management, right?
Yes. And in the end, you want to be yourself, and my true self is similar to you, a jokester. And coming the weekend, I will just be with my friends and, you know, like do some silly stuff.
Yeah.
And people just, I understand what you say totally, because like, it doesn't matter if my joke is funny to them or not, but they were having fun with me. Yeah. I'm having fun with myself, and they liked that I was having fun, and they were laughing with me.
Yeah, it all comes back to that, right? Realness. They genuinely just want to spend time with you because you're you, because of who you are and all that kind of stuff. Like your work role, your professional role, like, yeah, it's you, but it's also what you choose to let people see, compared to who you'd be if you're with your friends and family. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah. That's good. And the last question would be something, you know, like you might find it odd, but speaking as a man, and I want your advice on, like, if I want to be with someone as beauty as you are, as smart as you are, what kind of qualities that you would advise and suggest me to, like, okay, you do this?
Personally, I think everyone's different. Personally, I love a good listener, someone who can listen. You can complain about the dumbest things, but if someone's listening and gives you that safe space, I think that goes a long way. You know, like I think listening comes with intelligence as well. So I think those would be the two. One, because the other one links into one another. Yeah. But it's so different, right, for everyone. Like, everyone likes such different things depending on your culture, depending on, like, how you grew up. I just grew up with a dad that always listened, and I've always admired that in my dad, and therefore look for it in a romantic partner.
Have you been a good listener for the past hour?
Absolutely, yeah. You've given me really safe space to talk, and I think it's an opportunity that is very special too, especially because it's in English, because I can fully express myself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anchilee Scott-Kemmis.
That's me.
I don't know why my producer want me to say your full name out loud.
It's like a introduction. You know, when I go on stage, you introduce yourself. It's your nickname, your full name, your last name. And then for me, because I was a representative of Thailand, I had to say Thailand at the end. It's a pageant thing. Yeah.
And how did you go? What was it?
So it was Anne, and you can hear my accent. Anchilee Scott-Kemmis, Thailand. That was it, and that went viral.
So if I ever enter one would be Aim, Nopajak, Atanon, Thailand.
Yes.
Yes. But I saw one video that it was a chance for your supporters to yell your name to give you a big boost. You're like Anchilee Scott-Kemmis.
Was that one in a green dress?
Yes.
That was my farewell speech. So I was finishing off with saying, you know, like, you're Miss Universe Thailand 2021, and Anchilee, and the whole hall just like said my name at the same time, which I'll never forget. Yeah.
What is your next journey? I mean, with
My next journey.
yeah.
It's $1 million question. A lot of people have been asking me that. Well, right now I've decided that I want to stay in entertainment. I feel like there's room for me here still, and my message is not where I want it to be yet. I want to keep being that representation for people on, whether it's on TV or, you know, on social media. I want them to see realness. I want them to see the human aspect of me. And I remember doing research before I did Miss Universe Thailand saying about like girls committing suicide because of beauty standards. So I want to be one of those girls that can show another side of beauty standards, a side where you make your own beauty standards. So I want to stay in entertainment. I'm really going back into fashion at the moment. So whether it's like fashion shows or clothes, all these things, I want to show different body types represented in fashion, because fashion, I think, is a type of soft power that a lot of people don't know, because it's soft power, you know. You don't realize you're being influenced. I want to try acting, so I've got some exciting stuff coming up, hopefully, and yeah, go with the flow. I need to see what works for me and what doesn't. I don't want to be put into a role where I know it clashes with my values. I think that becomes an issue.
You have time for yourself nowadays, right?
Surprisingly, not so much right now. I have work every day at the moment, but I've learned to take like half an hour to just do whatever I want to do. And I always find time to gym. That's fun. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot one thing. This program is designed to encourage people to speak in English.
Okay.
I think like during the past hours, I've stumbled in some of grammars and accent, but it's important that I speak out and get to communicate. Yeah. Listening and talking is a lot more important. Can you share your opinion? You know, like the past hour that we are discussing things in English.
I think, well, English is obviously a global language, right? It's a language that's used everywhere. So it is important for us, especially for Thailand, if we want to be a competitive international, like into the international market and be able to communicate and all that stuff. We have to learn English, you know. I think it's important, and it allows you to communicate with more people. Grammar that's right, grammar that's wrong, you can understand. Like, it's language, you know. You have your style of speaking, I have my style of speaking. That has nothing to do with whether or not you're good or bad at English. I really don't. I grew up speaking English to an Australian dad, hence why my accent's like this, hence why I have specific choices of words and different slangs that I use. You grew up speaking English in a Thai community, right? Communicating, like, it's just culture, that's all it is. But at the end of the day, you understand each other fully. You know what they're trying to convey. That's all we have to It has to be. You don't need to bring in grammar, you don't need to bring accents, you don't need to bring in any of those things because it's not productive.
Thank you for your time. I
Thank
know
you
it's
for
very
having me.
valuable.
No.
Get some free time after this. I mean, like, I hope you get to enjoy yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
workpointTODAY สาระความรู้เพื่อวันนี้